You know, welcome to No Strings Attached Ministries. When tough times are upon us all, trust me, it's getting pretty tough out there these days. Yep. Guys, the ministry has just totally exploded the need. I mean, it's gotten almost more than I can even handle. Um, I've basically used everything I have in reserve and has had in reserve. Just to try to keep up. But just sure glad the government stimulus and stuff is just about ready to start getting out there. So hopefully he'll ease the burdens of some of the ministries out there. So just if there's any possible way that you could uh, help out, it's time to step up to the plate, man. I mean, it's gotten pretty bad out there across the whole world. So no one can never say they never found an opportunity to help. So reach out, touch someone close to you. If you are scared, you don't want to go outside, you don't want to get involved, that's okay, it's understandable. Just reach out and help a ministry that is doing just that. And you can also do that even through this ministry here. But the need has really gotten pretty tough out there, guys. Um, it's not been fun. It really hasn't. I've just broke down inside just trying to figure it all out. Hey, Hank, how are you doing, buddy? I tried to call you and keep getting different responses. I've been worried about you, didn't I? Could never get a hold of you. So if you can give me a call later on and make sure that I've got your new phone number, okay? Because I've been trying to reach out to you and find out how your health has been going as well. But just want to let you know that that I'm still out here for you. And so I called somebody. They said they had your phone now, so that it wasn't your phone. So I don't know what that was about. But anyway, hope all's going well. The rest of it, I mean, it's been pretty crazy out there, guys. It really has. It's been crazy. Um, I've got a lot of my stamina. I just give up on worrying any kind of worry about my health. Of course, I feel like God's got my health and He's got my health in His hands. I've already seen miracle after miracle on my health. So a guy asked me just the other day, says, Jim, how come there's so much wrong with you? I says, because those are the prayers I prayed. It's that simple. I said, you got to realize I prayed for people's miracles for heart conditions, brain conditions, blood conditions, lung conditions, you name it, broken bones, diseases. There's many things out there that that I have seen really get completely wiped out instantly. I mean, so I believe in prayer. Um, the way I look at it, I'm sure that I'll have to carry a lot of those different things at times for people. I'm willing to carry someone else's loads during their time of need. That's who I am. I think that's why my prayers are as much as they are. Um, they get answered, and that's all I care about is that they're getting answered. Because the biggest thing is the ones that are answered. That's a witness to them. That's their miracle. That's the way that they can find Christ through their closeness. So never give up on trying to encourage others, to walk the right path. Um, so a guy asked me, he says, so what's going on and aren't you afraid to die? I says, no, not really. I says, if I die, that's where I want to go anyway. So, but I'm willing to stay here as long as I absolutely have to do the job that He has for me. So, and I pray every day that He extends me just a couple more days. I done that for the last 22 years. So, I'm more than happy with that. Um, it doesn't scare me at all. And I'm sure if I die, when they do my autopsy, they're going to come back with a report. Well, he died of everything. So why not? My motto is when I go to heaven, I'm going to slide into home plate. I'm going to rip out my heart and hand it to God, and I'm going to start to cry. I said, "Sorry, Lord, I messed it all up. I got scars and cuts and nicks and bruises, and I mean, I've torn it up. I probably it was a bad steward of my heart, but in a way, I think He'll be proud of the kind of abuse that it's gone through. So that's sort of how I feel about it. Anyway, on a good note, I hope all of you's got your stimulus checks and stuff coming in, trying to help your alls out. I hope no one's lost their jobs. Um, I know it's getting pretty tough out there, but hopefully Congress and stuff will step up to the plate and start getting things moving to where they can help the people, the nation out and trying to get them to where they're more stable. It's just so sad to see how an epidemic like this can fly across the world and just gain so much momentum in so much time. It's just mind blowing to see, even if it is man made or natural. It's almost all I can tell of either way. It's still evil. It's nothing but evil. So pray for the evil that's flying around this world right now. I know it gets pretty tough out there, for all of us. But just make sure you keep yourself safe. That's all I ask. I'm sure glad that y'all come to see me today and visiting time with me. So is there anything you would like to know? Ask questions. I mean, I'm done rambling off now, so I'll try to read my messages. So if you're here, say hi. Leave me a message. A few of them probably has gone by that I wasn't paying attention to. If it was a question, please ask it again. If not, thank you all so much for coming by. I'm glad to have you here on my side. And of course, you can always get in touch with me through my email. I'll try to leave it in the description on the video if I can remember this morning. But it's to mygodsavedme2 at comcast.net. That's the number 2, not a number sign, just the 2 at comcast.net. It also ties to my PayPal the same way. Any way that you can possibly help the ministry out, may God bless all of you. I appreciate any kind of help. I know it's drained everything I have, so it's just been one heck of a need. I tell you what, it's just really like it's not just a straw, it's been a hose, man. It just siphoned it right out real fast. But you know what? That's all right. If it was needed, it was needed. That's what it's there for. That's what God's provided it to me for, and that was the reason I guess I've just been putting it into savings, just to I was thinking, well, maybe I'm saving it up for maybe getting back on the road again or another trip or whatever. No, he has purposes for it, and whenever he calls me in my heart to do something about it, that's when I step out of my realm and follow his word and his request, and then do whatever I have to do with that. So it's been pretty amazing to see how much love is actually out there in the world. But all I encourage anybody and everybody that possibly can, trust me, around you, you can find someone that's in need. Even if it's just a family member. This is a time for us to bond together, to help each other, to love each other. Agape love. And I'm a hugger type of guy, so I mean, trust me, that's just who I am. I've always been that way. And all I can say is, after this is all said and done, y'all better hunt me down to give me a hug. I'm done with this nonsense. It's been like nightmare and torture to me, it's been tough. I mean, to walk by and talk to someone is just like, what do you do? I'm lost. So, I have no clue how to show affection or to show who I am, to somebody. You can't even fist bump anymore, I don't think. I did one guy was my pastor, and I bumped him with the elbow. So And then we swore up down, we broke the rules, and we probably are both going to go to jail for it, But we started laughing about it and carrying on. But anyway, guys, it's been funny. It really has. Honestly, I'm climbing the walls. I'm about ready to hit the road. I tell you, I'm done with this nonsense. There's so much I want to get out and do. I'll never take going out again for granted. When I get it, when I get loose, woohoo, gone. I mean, I'm boat out of here as fast as I can. It's just been crazy. But it's been tough on my wife, though. It has. I mean, she's a school teacher, of course, you all know. And she's been having to teach from home. They got this online teaching thing that they're doing. It was driving her insane. Of course, she cried for 3 days after they told her that they wasn't going to have school for the rest of the year now. So she'll never be able to actually see these kids again. And, I mean, she invests a lot of time into these babies. And it just breaks her heart, to see so much. Hey, Mo Bang, thank you. Glad to see you, too. But, yeah, it crushes her, to not to be able to be affectionate with somebody. And I'm sure you guys are starting to feel a lot of that as well. I mean, there's some of them, some of you guys out there probably are loners or, introverts, where it's not that bad. She is too. She's sort of the one that sort of enjoys being more quiet or more by herself. That's just who she is. But me, I'm extrovert all 100%, 1,000 ways. I mean, if I can be out there, I'm out there. So, but it's just as hard on me because I can't. And this isolation stuff is really plays toll on you, especially when, it's been raining outside for the last 3 days. It's gloomy. You know how it is. It's winter times are terrible. So, if you can't get out there and love the world and get out there and spend some time, I leave every morning, spend about at least an hour out, even if I'm just driving around, just checking out the stores and, not going in, but I just drive around just to see the people, to feel like I'm part of the world again. Does that make sense? And sometimes on some of these roads that sometimes during the day, you don't really think there's even an epidemic going on. I mean, there's so many people out. So it's been pretty crazy here. Yeah, I know it's been crazy with this mask stuff, and it's a shame that we've had to change our ways that drastically. Could you imagine what the new norm is going to be for people that are dating? Hey, honey, can you want to come out on a date with me? Sure, you can follow me through Walmart or through the McDonald's parking or the drive-through. Yeah, that's what we can do. We'll go by Starbucks, go through the drive-through there, get our coffee, and then we'll go through McDonald's, maybe get apple pie or something. And then we can park across from each other, but we have to separate cars from at least one car length in between. And we can do sort of like the police does, and we can shout back and forth our love yous and I love yous and things, and we can wave each other, as we're there, and blow kisses and things like that, give air hugs, but and then maybe after about 4 or 5 times, 4 or 5 dates, maybe we'll become steady. Yeah, I, who knows? Might even get married, if it really clicks off well. So we'll have to see. Could you imagine being a child or being a person that has to date during this nonsense? It's just crazy. I mean, it really is. When do you finally say enough's enough, and take the risk, become a risk taker, But then the government will have something on you, and they'll have those, big eyes on you as big brother. And remember, there's cameras everywhere, so they got an eye on you. They're watching you, and then the minute you do, they'll find you and they'll zap you, and they'll come and arrest you and take you to jail. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that's, very critical. I think that's why a lot of people are even allowing this to take place. Most, especially younger people and most middle-aged, adults, because they know that they need to be careful not to bring it home to grandma and grandpa, and or someone that's sick, maybe a mate that's not doing so well. I mean, that's what my wife said. Is I'm afraid that with your health and your heart conditions and things that you have, I've been worried about you. Um, I'm doing okay. I've not really been worrying about anything. That's they're gonna track you. Yeah, I'm sure they will track me. They're gonna have a fun time keeping up with me though. That's just the way it is. But anyway, it's, I can imagine. I'm sure I'll be a handful to them. So make sure you go to the drive-through, go to your favorite restaurant. Make sure you tip your little girls that normally take care of you. Try to find out when they work and go when they're there. That way you can, give a tip to them and be a little more generous now, if you possibly can. Because remember they're really losing a lot of their tips and stuff now. So, taking in count that they're trying their best to survive, and everybody's taking a hit. Trust me, everybody. But listen, guys, if you qualify for any of this assistance and things, the PPP, the extra income from your unemployment, the extra $600 or whatever you apply for everything. All they can do is turn you down, right? So, but apply for everything. Remember, you deserve it. This stuff is not a charity. This is something that you paid for, and it's part of. It comes through your salary, so understand that that's your tax money, coming back to you. So, don't feel bad. Don't think you're just taking advantage of the system. I mean, you deserve it. Trust me. What I hope, pray that happens is the government gets wise, and after all this nonsense, after all this nonsense and stuff, they hand China the big bills. Like, here you go. You all caused this. You can pay for it, and just give them the bill. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, at the auto parts store, I was like $250 for a mask at Home Depot the other day. I'm like, are you serious? But I mean, while I was sitting there contemplating if I wanted it or not, so the little man walks up, grabs the last box right out from under me. I'm like, okay. So I ain't no too worried about it. But anyway, I've been going to the doctor, and the doctor actually gave me one someone had made and donated to him, which is really nice. And they use they it's a cloth one that's pleated. It goes around your earpieces here, and so they go around your ears, and then they're using regular those white coffee filters, believe it or not, and they're putting a couple of those inside the mask, and you're breathing through that, and apparently that qualifies. And so you know take the part, and they say it's washable, and you can, I keep mine hung on my visor, while I'm there. The sun will definitely kill the viruses, but also I carry a can of Lysol spray too, and also I've got hand sanitizer that I use more than anything. I mean, my hands are completely. I mean, it's just they're cracking. That's how bad it is. I mean, I feel like I've got 80-year-old hands now, because of all this chemicals that I put on there. But anyway, do your best to stay out there, stay as clean and healthy as you can. Just try to be mindful of what you touch and where you go, and if you do get in, make sure you continue to sterilize. I mean, I sterilize my steering wheel in my car all the time, my door handles and things in my car. Even at my house, I'll wipe down all the knobs, and I'll spray it with Lysols and stuff all through the house. Anything that I'm touching or my wife's touching, we always try to keep it, wiped down. So just keep an eye on that, and places that you normally wouldn't think about. Make sure you take consideration and find out exactly what you're doing and follow through with what you actually do. Because a lot of people don't realize that, the things that they do. A lot of people don't even realize how many times you touch your face during the day. Me, I am pitiful. I probably touch my face 50 times an hour. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I'll rub my nose or, rub my eye or something. It's just who I am. That's what I do. I mean, and, I cough a lot, because of my smoking. I know it's, but it's still COPD. So, you know, I got a cough. I'm sure people around me thinks I'm contagious, but I just tell them, I'm like, no, I'm not contagious. I just got COPD, and apologize for it, and then I put my mask on if I'm having an attack or something, But I guess I just have to be more, more courteous and more critical to other people too, and think about them as well. And I know it would be scary if I walked by someone that was coughing and hacking and carrying on as well. So, just not only worried about them and their safety, but also mine or my children or my wife or whoever's with me. Worry about their safety as well. So, do what we can to try to keep it down. Do y'all think it will ever come back and be back to normal again? What's your all's thoughts on that? Me? I hope it does. If it does come back, I'm sure it's going to be temporary. And I don't see it returning as a permanent thing. I think it's going to change the world as we know it in certain ways. But I mean, think about the young generations today. They don't even know how to socialize, with each other. They never leave the house. They play video games. They do all kinds of different things like that. Yeah, I agree with you. It's just, it's sad how it is a new normal, and that's what scares me about it all. Fascism is here. It probably is, I'm sure. I mean, it's but it's scary to notice how they have to be. It's just almost like my little skit about about dating. It's sad that it has to turn into that. Yeah, we do. That we've been taught thoroughly on what our mamas should have taught us when we were young, right? Wash your hands. The free market. Yeah, the free market will take over, and it'll bounce back. I'm sure it will. I'm not too worried about that. I've been noticing the stock market. It's really just been bouncing back and forth. It hasn't really taken off or even really lost. They have like $400 or $500 swings, or every day, or $400 or $500 points. But I think that's more of a normal these days. It's not a big crash or anything. Like I said, it is what it is. We just have to learn to deal with it. Whatever you do, make sure you're diversified in any way possible. If the government's going to give you a bunch of money in different times, make sure you turn it into something that you can actually use in other ways. Maybe buy supplies, or even maybe some, get a few coins maybe, or a couple, gold pieces or something. Make sure you're just diversified in many different ways across the board. That way,